He's a guy that's coming up, trying to prove himself. He's been calling my name for years.
Don't, saying, happen.
Why I
We
say
gonna
this
run.
fight needs to happen again because both fighters have something to prove. I just saw a tweet from Gervonta TankDavis saying that he was going to activate the rematch.
The rematch between GervontaDavis and Lamont Roach is reportedly set to happen, and tensions flared during a live interview when Davis snapped at Roach, making it clear he's out for revenge. Brushing off the heated exchange, Davis simply said, "It's part of boxing," downplaying the
If you look at the
confrontation.
whole fight, he was never bothering his eyes
You jabbed him.
before I jabbed him. Even that right hand that, like, that kind of landed, he kind of rolled with it. But after that, you can see him wipe his eye. And then, right after I hit him with the jab, you can see
The
him wipe
rematch
his eye.
presents a huge opportunity for Lamont Roach to prove he can defeat a champion like Tank Davis. Roach has been vocal about wanting the fight as soon as possible, knowing this is his chance to make history. As of now, the highly anticipated bout is potentially set for June 21st in Las Vegas, promising an electrifying showdown. Both fighters are ready, and the boxing world is watching closely.
The Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach rematch is being targeted for June 21st in Las Vegas. Now, it seems that they're running it back without wasting any time because Roach absolutely deserves a rematch. I mean, I thought he outboxed Tank the last time around. He came up a division as a gigantic 10-1 underdog. He was the one on the front foot, landing his jab, the body shots, the combination, throwing a lot more volume. I had a 7-5 Roach, and the no knockdown in round 9 was the reason it was a draw. If that knockdown was scored, that would have been a decision for Roach. But with all that being said, I do like Tank a lot more in the rematch. I thought he fought way too much on the back foot in the first fight, especially the first few rounds. He would land 1 or 2 punches per round. He started becoming the aggressor in the later rounds. He kept landing a lot more left hands and body shots. Tank just needs to make this a dogfight, get into more exchanges, and that's where he'll land a lot more punches on Roach. When he's sitting on the back foot waiting for a counter, that's where Roach is comfortable and winning most of the rounds. Tank can fight the same way he did against Ryan Garcia, rounds 3 to 7, against Mario Barrios in the later rounds, or Frank Martin, round 4 to 8. He's the one on the front foot that
Lamont Roach has made it clear that Steve Willis cannot referee the rematch due to controversy over his decisions in the first fight. Many believe Willis favored Tank Davis by failing to count a crucial moment when Davis took a knee. This has fueled debate among boxing analysts and fans, with some arguing that the fight could have gone in Roach's favor if the correct call had been
With
made.
the grease in the eye, that took on a life of its own. You know what I'm saying? That was a headline in the fight. Um, one is, what did you think when he said that initially? Just like the grease in the eye. But two is like, when you was in the fight, was there any point that you saw that? Like, did you see like him kind of messing with his eye, or did you have any indication that that was something that was bothering him?
No, see, and that's the thing. If you look at the whole fight, he was never bothering his eyes
You jabbed him.
before I jabbed him. Even that right hand that, like, that kind of landed, he kind of rolled with it. But after that, you can see him wipe his eye. And then, right after I hit him with the jab, you can see him wipe his other eye. So it's like it was corresponding to which hand that I punched him with and exactly which eye. So it's like crazy for him to say grease him. Man. And I think even when he say that, you could see me come right beside him. You can see me like, nigga, what you talking about? So,
Right.
But you say you don't think he willing though.
whatever. See, but who cares? Like, sweat gonna get in your eye, blood gonna get in your eye.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Spit fucking around and get in your eye. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like you can be like, all right, time out, ref. Hold on,
Take no
ref.
time out.
You can't do that.
Right.
Would you be cool with Steve Willis doing the next fight?
Hell no.
He can't do the next fight.
No, he can't do the next fight. No.
Pops is a no.
Hell no.
Yeah, fuck that.
Fuck.
You know how many?
Put Coach Ben on him, man. He lucky he ain't running Coach Ben after that fight.
But look how many times look at how many times he fight up though. The knee, him going to the corner to get assistance. Like, who knows? Not saying that they did any cheating like that, but like he wiped his face with a towel. You can't do that.
Right.
You can't do none of that.
Right.
That's a disqualification. You turned your back on the ref after you took a knee. Usually the ref gonna be like, all right, he don't
One of the
want to
biggest
fight.
controversies in the first bout was the moment when Davis took a knee, which was not counted as a knockdown. Many believe this decision significantly impacted the fight's outcome. The incident has been widely discussed, with numerous analysts questioning why the referee failed to make the correct call. Roach and his camp argue that if the right decision had been made, it could have changed the result of the fight. The rematch between Lamont Roach and GervontaDavis is expected to be one of the biggest boxing matches in recent times. Fans are eagerly awaiting the true outcome of this rivalry to determine who the best fighter truly is. Roach has already proven he can compete with Davis at the highest level, and many believe he deserves another shot to settle the score once and for all.
Got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? That is it. Lamont, please say that in the second fight. Any questions? You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, you got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, hey, bro, be on that. Because here's the thing. He never hurt Roach. Roach just waited. And Roach was squared up and turned sideways. And I'm like, oh, my God. I didn't think he had that. He was like, I'm like, oh, my. And then he just sitting there like, you can't. I know what you're going to do because I've trained with you since we were kids. Tarver beat Roy, but he knew Roy since amateurs. Roy said he never liked fighting sparring partners because they know you so well. I should have listened to Roy.
TankDavis is eager to make the rematch happen as soon as possible, with May being a potential date. He understands that his reputation is on the line after the controversial draw against Roach and is determined to prove he is the better fighter. Davis wants to erase any doubts about his dominance in the ring, and a rematch would give him the perfect opportunity to redeem himself.
We got to talk about it. So, Tank officially came out and says that he wants to put this rematch as early as May. Now, if that were to happen, Lamont Roach gets a second time to prove himself. Now, in my personal opinion, his stock has already risen. He is already notable. The fact that he went toe-to-toe with Tank on a decision and ended in a draw. Whether he loses this second fight or not won't even matter. Because he's directly in line to go against the Keyshawn Davis, Shakir Stevens, and etc., Devin Haney, and etc. I can see him moving up and going against Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia or somebody like that. So many people to fight. Lamont Roach has definitely proven himself. But let's talk about something else. And that is the hairstylist situation. In my humble opinion, I believe she should have been quiet. The hairstylist. There was nothing for you to say. No fan in boxing is gonna look at that like, I don't want to break my hair. No one would have said that. She hurt herself. She came out and publicly made multiple claims. Got all these receipts that no one needed, no one asked for, saying, oh, there ain't no grease or oil in it. No one cares. Nobody even believes it. Sometimes it's best to remain quiet. But you guys let me know in the comments. Should she have remained quiet or should she just did what she did, which is spoke up? You let me know.
Before the fight, many fans and analysts underestimated Lamont Roach's abilities. However, his performance against Davis completely changed that perception. Roach's ability to go toe-to-toe with one of boxing's most feared punchers has made him a rising star in the sport. Well-known sports commentator Stephen A. Smith admitted to underestimating Roach, stating that he expected Davis to secure a knockout victory, but was surprised by Roach's resilience and skill.
I expected to see a knockout. I expected to see it come at the hands of Gervonta Tank Davis against a dude that I thought was undersized, that I thought was not on the same level. And my God, was I wrong. So I thought it was apropos that on this particular day, more than a week after Lamont Roach showed up at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, and let everybody know, yo, I'm no joke either. Y'all don't know who the hell I am. I'm here to reintroduce him to the world. A guy that many believe should be the lightweight champion of the world in the sport of boxing. The one and only Lamont Roach joins me right now.
A rematch between Davis and Roach is highly likely, especially since Tank himself has expressed interest in running it back. However, it remains uncertain whether this will be Davis's next fight, as he has other potential opponents on his list, and may choose to face someone else first. Nonetheless, fans are eagerly pushing for the rematch to happen as soon as possible.
That next game, what do you do that you didn't do the first time? Is that a valid question?
Well, I don't know if he pitched a shutout, but he definitely
fought a
perfect game.
perfect fight for him, above and beyond what we've ever seen from him. Something that people who knew him and knew him personally knew that he has that in him. But being able to do it on the big stage underneath those lights, that's a whole different thing. He was able to do it. You know, it was packed in there. It was 19,000. I was in the room. I mean, they were literally booing him when he was on the Megatron above the ring. You know, so for him to walk into hostile territory, perform the way that he performed from beginning to end, I mean, I tip my hat. It was amazing. But in terms of pitching a shutout, I don't agree. It was a very, very close fight.
No, but what I mean by it is the perfect fight to be elevated.
Yeah. No, I absolutely understand. So in terms of can he elevate his performance? Yes and no. I don't think he can do anything that he was once he really found his rhythm better, because I think that was literally his catch and shoot, his rolling, his ability to catch those punches, his mindset when he did get touched, his ability to walk through. But I think he can be a little cuts off the quadrants of a 12-rounder. Understanding what a 12-rounder and how to fight a 12-rounder is a skill that takes time. You have to go 12 a bunch of times. You have to be world-class guys. Being able to be a little busier for early on to make sure that you understand that you are the B-side. You need to make sure these judges absolutely know that a doubt in their mind that you won that round. Being a little more aggressive early on, letting the hands go a little earlier, putting the exclamation on the points in the early rounds the way they did it the later rounds, I think will make a big difference in how he could actually improve on what he did.
Acknowledged that the boxing world owes Roach an apology for doubting him. This recognition from a respected analyst further highlights just how impressive Roach's performance was.
Right back. I'm believing him. I didn't see him hurt or anything like that. I get that part. I saw him hurt when he got popped with a counter from Lamont Roach, and he stumbled backwards because he got hit with a shot while throwing a punch in an earlier round. So I'm certainly not going to do that. Here's the important point to mention. All of us got to stand down and give Lamont Roach an apology. I thought that brother was going to get beat down because I saw a dude that was a bantamweight champion. I said, why are you moving up to fight this guy? Why is Gervonta taking this fight? This guy's too small. What the hell is going on? He was a featherweight champion. You a lightweight. What the hell is going on? Why would you take that fight? I didn't understand it. What I didn't know is that once Lamont Roach stepped into the ring, he would be the bigger fighter. What I didn't know is that once he was in the ring and he looked like the bigger fighter, he fought like the bigger fighter. Because, ladies and gentlemen, from opening bell, he walked right to GervontaDavis. Walked right to him. And stayed in his face all night long. If he backed up at all, ladies and gentlemen, it was 5%.
A rematch between Tank and Roach is highly likely, especially since Tank himself has expressed interest in running it back. However, it's uncertain whether this will be his immediate next fight, as he has other names on his list and may choose to redeem himself in a different matchup before facing Roach again.
Wilding like usual, right?
Yeah.
The rematch, he'll be able to prove himself. I don't really believe there was a reason to call out a knockdown if you don't call Roach's shit a knockdown as well. Both was on the knee, pause. Both took a knee. So it canceled each other's out. It's either both are knockdowns or none. And neither are. So what we talking about?
Nah,
They definitely hate Tank. That part is a fact.
Nah,
I don't. I'm saying
not
in
saying
general.
us.
In general.
I'm just saying, like, couldn't wait.
He got to Mayweather level
Yeah,
where people
fine.
hate him.
When you do well enough, people do
yes.
look for you
Success
to.
breeds that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Success breeds that. When you
That's a fact.
either they love you or they hate you. There's no in betweens. No longer indifferent for you because everyone knows.
Coach Bernie has emphasized the importance of Roach refining his approach in the rematch. While Roach performed admirably, Bernie noted that there were moments when he could have been more aggressive.
But he did good. Lamont Roach, the only thing like I say, if he gonna go back and wish he threw his hands more, he might start getting mad at himself and realize that he when he watches the fight, you feel good to hear everybody say that, but when you go watch the fight and you realize, I let him slide too much. Like even the last round, he's standing there posing, looking at the man like and then he got caught with a jab. That wasn't good.
So, you talked about the takeaways of how Lamont could be better in the ring.
Renowned commentator Joe Rogan weighed in on one of the fight's biggest moments, Davis taking a knee in the 9th round. Rogan argued that if a fighter voluntarily goes down on one knee, it should be considered a knockdown. His comments have further fueled the growing debate over whether the referee made the right call during the fight.
Trash. Well, I thought it was a good fight. You didn't think?
Great fight, but champion guy taking a knee, talking about greasing his hair.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm like, yo, how you just in the middle of the fight just go wipe your face?
Also, here's the deal: if you take a knee, that's
a knockdown.
That's a knockdown.
It's a track two, right?
You got hit with a jab.
Yeah.
You took a knee.
And then you walked off.
Exactly. That is a knockdown.
Yeah.
So I think they're reviewing that right now.
Nah, that guy should have lost maybe.
Well, I feel like if they do review it and they do judge it as a knockdown, which it was clearly a knockdown to everybody, you take a knee, that's a knockdown. I think they will probably give it to Lamont.
It's a very interesting rule. They have a power slap that kind of talks about what you guys were just discussing.
Many boxing analysts and former professionals believe that if a rematch happens, Roach will have the upper hand. His performance in the first fight exposed several weaknesses in Davis's game plan. If Roach can capitalize on those weaknesses in the rematch, he could very well emerge victorious.